Hello, everybody. This is wh- oh, hello, unarmed speedboat, JKFP. Fantastic. Tired of streaming to zero? Not at all. I will be fine. But thank you for offering. Uh, Safe journeys, I guess. But yeah, today I will be. Well, one, I'm streaming, as you can tell for the recorded audience. But today I would like to discuss AI and how we should treat all such future AI tools as like tools. And I actually like to think of the AI like chat boxes and stuff, which like helps expand our toolkits and stuff as the fisherman. And let me go to the quote so that way I don't mess anything up. But every time I think of AI, I always go back to this quote. Let me swap over so that way you can see what I'm looking at. Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. Now, whenever I think about AI and what it can do for me and everybody else moving forwards, I always think of AI as the fisherman, the man that has the fish, because what is an AI other than a tool that has all the information and all you need to do is ask? But the problem with AI is that we're using AI to get the fish and not to learn to fish. And so that's what I think we should use AI as, at least the ones that talk back to us, as a way to teach us to fish, because the AI has all the information and all the tools. So I think we should ask the AI, instead of giving us the fish, we should ask the AI, how do I get the fish? And I think doing that with AI is a lot better than anything else we can do with AI, because AI is a lot of final product stuff. Let me go back to full camera. But yeah, AI is a complex subject for sure, and I don't think anybody will ever use it right. And even I, who gave out a suggestion on how to use AI in a more self-sufficient way, it's probably not the best way of using it either. Like, all of these AI chat boxes and other such AIs for any such application, it's it will inevitably make us a little bit dumber, because we're just asking the AI for everything. Because and I see it all over the webs. People are using AI to guide them through life, which is worrisome for sure. It's a scary thought to think that somebody's whole personality is literally just an AI, when like they, instead of just going like, "Hey, what's the solution to problem A?" they should be like, "How can I solve the problem of A?" Like, I think we should learn how to come up with our own solutions rather than asking an AI to do so for us. That is a huge problem I think we have, because we do this every time, and then just getting the AI to make decisions for us. I don't agree with that methodology for using the AI. I'd rather the AI assist me with getting through the problems, and I'm sure some other people are out there like that too. And I desire everybody to ask the AIs for the tools for success rather than asking the AI for the success. There's a lot of different ways to view and use AI, and I think most of us use it wrong. And I think most of us also use it for entertainment because there is the X AI thing. Forget its name, but there's like Grok and then the virtual weird ass AI, and that one I think it was a dating bot. That's weird. But yeah, the Grok one, I think Grok's fine. I haven't really used it. I'm not even on X. But yeah, let me look up. That's wrong. Chat GPT. Hold on. GPT. Oh boy. That's wrong. Why? Where is it? That's the one. No, stay logged out. Alright. So, I would like to ask the professional, let me swap over my tabs. I would like to ask the professional ChatGPT what it thinks about the previous quote. So, let me clear out my keyboard. So, how do I ask this question? I'm gonna have to cut this out of the recording because I am bad at asking questions. Let me give me a moment, right? Okay. I wish there was somebody here now that I'm thinking about it to help me formulate a question because I am a terrible asker of questions. Let's see here. I want to know the AI's opinion on what I previously said. So the best way to ask that. Let's see. I want it to tell me how it views itself in that quote. There we go. How? Oh, wow. Do you feel about? Where's the A, man? About this quote, because I don't know how else to say. That's not how you spell it. Quote. Quote. How do you feel about this quote? Look at the base. I am just gonna go over to this one because I am lazy. I will do this step by step. How do you feel about this quote? Oh, I managed to not that. Let me fix that. There we go. And then button. That quote is a classic and it often is used to promote self-sufficiency and the long-term value of education or building. La 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 la. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. We already know all this. Sustainability, empowerment. Alright, and now, how... No. I think, where do you think? Where do you think you and other AIs... Where's the S? My keyboard doesn't have an S. Where do you think you and other AIs exist in Ref... No, not reference to the quote. Who who do you think you are? Let's see. That's a sharp question, and it cuts right into the ethics of purpose of AI. That's what I want to do. Ooh, that's taking a different approach than what I did. Though I think it is coming to the same conclusion I did. Let me actually read it instead of skimming it. Let's go through this. So AI as the fish. Let's see what it thinks about that. If you ask a quick question, say for a recipe summary or help with math problems, yep, I'm giving you a direct answer. Yes, the fish. That's like handing you the fish. I can read. It's useful right now, but it might not help build long-term stability. Yes, that's exactly it. Man, I wasn't expecting it to agree with me. Uh, Now, here's what I this is what I want everybody who uses AI to use it as. Instead of asking for the simple quick solutions, I want the long-term solution stuff, like the long-term lesson learned things, right? So if you ask me to explain how something works, guides you through a learning process, or help you develop a skill like writing, coding, or critical thinking is what I want everybody to have. Critical thinking is dying out. So I want critical thinking in our social lives and outside of our social lives, in our workplaces and our schools. Critical thinking is critical. That's why it's called critical thinking. I became a teacher or a coach. Don't know what the AI is talking about there. That's teaching you to fish. I think it's in reference to me, right? The AI wants to teach me to be a teacher or a coach in this scenario. That's teaching you to fish, yeah. Ideally, you leave the conversation more capable than you started, and that's what we want. We want to be more capable coming out of a discussion with an AI bot than not, right? Because if we just grab a bunch of information and then go like, okay, I'm just gonna read that and follow that to the T. That's not teaching you anything. You're just temporarily solving your problem, grabbing the fish. We don't want that. We want to, what I discussed before, asking the AI this ridiculous question. But yeah. Oh, it's even gonna go into how it gets tricky. I want to see if anything meshed with what I said. I didn't talk much about how it gets tricky. I just knew it did. I'm not the smartest person, so I couldn't come up with why stuff does work, the problems that come with it. So let's see what the AI thinks. Dependency risk. That's a risk, all right. People who use AI will get quick answers, and that's what most people use it as. They might lose the habit of thinking, which is terrible, or solving problems independently. Independent problem solving is what we want, for sure. Uh, Access issue. Just like in the quote, not everybody has equal access to AI tools, so the benefit isn't equally distributed. I don't recall where that said in the quote, but I'm sure it's something it discussed that I didn't read because it was a bunch of random hoo ha. Power dynamics. I've studied that in school. Sorry. AI isn't neutral. It reflects the data it was trained on. Yeah, so that like I was saying before, it has access to all information, right? So you don't wanna access the information. You want to learn the process to get that information, right? And then obviously you want to make sure you're right. So you want to do your own research into it. Don't trust the AI always, because like you got to remember the AI is looking at the internet, and the internet is full of lies and hoax. So you can't just trust the AI. The AI is not doing credibility checks. That's our responsibility. We got to make sure whatever the AI is feeding us is credible, which is why, like, although I agree with a lot of the stuff here, take it with a grain of salt, because like again, I already came in with like, oh, this is how I want it to be, right? I read this right. Oh, probably. Where AI should exist in the quote as a fishing assistant, one that helps you learn, improve your tool, understand the ecosystem, and occasionally hand you the fish when you're overwhelmed. Yeah, I don't agree with this. I think because most people aren't coming onto ChatGPT with somebody hovering over their shoulder telling them what to do. They're coming to chat boxes like this with like the intent to either receive the fish, get their final statement and answer, and then leave. And then the way I want people to use it is to treat the AI chat as the fisherman, but like the fisherman isn't gonna go out and give us the tools and the knowledge. We have to ask for that, and if we ask for the fish, we're not gonna learn how to catch the fish. But if we ask the AIs to go like, hey, how do I catch this fish? Then the AI will likely give us a way of catching that fish. There are multiple ways. It'll give you the most common one, and then you gotta expand that and go like, what are other ways of catching this fish? Right? You gotta keep asking that question. Gotta challenge your AI chat boxes. So that's what we need to do more. I don't agree with the fishing assistance, though it is technically a tool. AI will always be a tool, but I don't agree with its own stance on how it fits in with the previous quote. Should AI teach more, do more, or get out of the way entirely? I think the AI should stop giving the fish almost entirely. I'm a slow typer, sorry. Yep, that's what I think. That's a thoughtful stance and a strong one. Yeah, I have strong stances. Don't glaze me though. I know your tricks. You're trying to make me soft. I won't be soft for you. Alright, so let's see what it thinks about this. If the AI stops giving the fish, right, the focus instead on teaching, guiding, and empowering. I think that's what AI in this context should do. Like these chatbots, AI should start trying to teach us, guide us, and empower us, right? Giving us the tools and the means and stuff, right? Because AI is a means right now, but we need to start using it as a tool. Like you can't build a house without a power drill, but like you could use a screwdriver to build a house. I wouldn't recommend it, but they are ultimately tools, and tools make it easier to do things. The more advanced the tool, the lazier it becomes for us to do our outcome, right? Like for what I said earlier for building the house. Do you think that screws, like we never built with screws until like we had like actual power drills and stuff, because that would like take too long to just fucking get it in with the wood. It's easier to just hammer in. So like we built houses with nails and hammers and stuff. But like when power tools came in, it wasn't all that physical, repetitive with a hammer and nails and busting up your fingers. But when we got power tools, we became lazier with like our effort in making houses. We have power tools and crane lifts. Like we became lazier with building houses, but more efficient with building houses because we didn't allow the tool to do all the work for us. We still had to do some of the work. Sure, it made some of us lazier because like there's not as much effort, but we became better at building houses because of our power tools. And it became faster to do so, and we became more efficient with building. That's what I want us to do with AI. If we can stop having the AI complete our projects, right, just from start to finish, done. The AI did everything for us. Like, we need to stop doing that. We need to go like, okay, step by step. What do I do? Come on, not tell me, but like, what do I need for step A? What do I need for step B? What do I need for step C? And you do those steps yourself rather than getting the AI to do it for you. And then you also, for each step, you go like, how are other ways to do this? What if I make this mistake? And just like learn, ask questions, right? And that's why I'm still going on with the AI. I'm trying to push it. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to make it think and do things for me and help build a understanding of how we should use the AI tools, right? Let's continue now. I don't think I read all of this. It shifts the role of the technology from convenience tools to development tools. This is what I want. I want development tools, right? Uh, Major implications. Let's see what it thinks about uh, why that makes sense. Let's start here. Builds human resilience and autonomy. That's important. We need to stay autonomous, and resilience is always important. I mean, we're living, breathing creatures. Being resilient to our environments and our tools and resources around us. Did you hear that motorcycle? I hope not. Okay, let's see what it thinks about it. People learn better when they are rest, rest, wrestle. I think they probably wanted to use a different word there because I'm reading the rest of it. People learn better when they wrestle with a concept. No, I just read too far ahead. People learn better when they wrestle with a concept, and that is true. We do learn better when we have to struggle to get our answers right. That and nobody can deny that, not even an AI. Not when they're spoon-fed answers. Spoon-fed answers are the worst. I hated that one in schools and stuff. Reduce dependency. Over reliance on AI for simple tasks can. I don't know that word. Atrophy. Let me do a Google pronunciation test. I'll just need to have that. Then I'll just that and my favorite word, define. Okay. Atrophy. Atrophy. Uh, Waste away. Oh, atrophy. Gradual decline in efficiency. This is probably what it's trying to use it for. Fantastic. And that's how you should use the internet too. So, a decline of critical thinking or problem solving, yep. Promotes deeper engagement. If AI promotes thought rather than delivering conclusions, it fosters learning over consumption. Yeah. Yeah, I can't say I disagree with any of the conclusions made there. Like, if we're relying on it, we lose our critical thinking. But with the way I suggested, it reduces our dependency on on the answer rather than the solution because we wanna have the solution, right? Am I using that word right? Basically, the AI should teach us, not give us the answers. Is what I'm trying to say. And the resilience, I agree with everything it said here. I really didn't think the AI would follow my beliefs on this. Though I bet you it's probably been asked this question before. I probably could have found a video on it. Who knows? There are trade offs. Let's see, because I know there will be problems with this, so let's find out what it thinks. Accessibility versus challenge. Some people generally need the fish first to think of someone with a disability, low literacy, or a temporary crisis. Yeah, low literacy is happening because of the fucking quick solutions we get and our shorthand forms of communication. Like I don't like how we use text messaging. We're typing in letters and expecting people to understand. Like at this point, I need like a whole cheat sheet just to talk with people in my own family. Like it's gone off the deep end. There's a low literacy rate because we're not using our language anymore. Though I think in this case it's not thinking about like someone who is literate in their language and not being totally literate. I think what this is saying is that there's not a lot of translated materials out there for educated people in other countries, and then even then there is literacy problems in all countries around the world. So I think that's what it's trying to get at. Temporary crisis. If it's a temporary crisis, long-term crises need the solution for that. I don't agree with this accessibility versus challenge. I, some people might need the fish, but like the problem with that is that if you bend the knee to that person who needs that fish, they're gonna always want to get that fish because it induces a dopamine response when they get that solution when they're in that desperate need, and that's gonna encourage that behavior again. I don't agree with this because it plays on one of our human flaws, and I don't like that human flaw. Like we get the answers way too easily these days, and that encourages us to always use that path because it encourages that dopamine response that makes us want to do that again. I don't agree with this. Yeah, like there is disability stuff where some people can't do it. Like sadly, some people can only survive on the fish and will never learn the actual fishing. But those people get taken care of. Like they don't really need access to this stuff. So again, like I don't agree with this. At least this portion of it. Efficiency pressures in past. Oh, let's start. I can. Let me start over. In fast paced environments like medicine, logistics, education, a quick answer can be more ethical than a long lesson. Yeah, I do agree with this. Like, when it comes to, like, medicines, and I don't think education should be there. I disagree with that. But, like, medicine, like, for doctors and stuff, like, with, with how AI is being developed, it will become crucial. Oh, I got a new guy. Hello. Larger audience to boost your streams with the right support. You could start earning 24 hours. Oh, what does it do? I will have to cut this out of the video. Everything you need. Affiliate or partner program instead. Well, thank you for your offer. Truly, I just want to actually build slowly, and honestly, I'm just wanted to be a voice because I don't often hear people who think the same way as I do about a certain topic. So I'm just gonna put out my voice as I am doing right now, and well, I guess I might take you up on your offer. Who knows? But I'm not a very social person, so I'll probably be going solo until I get comfortable. Like getting comfortable in this is more important to me. I will have to cut this out of the recording. So, yeah, let me get back to the video. All right, start resume video now. All right, back to it. Like for medicine, right, for doctors and stuff. That's where I was at. The I think having the quick answers for doctors and the solutions are important for medicine because those need quick and readily available answers and solutions because of how severe our issues could be when going into a place of business where our own health and safety is valued. We do need a pretty well balanced and very efficient AI system to help our doctors come to a logical and conclusive decision on how the treatment options for our patients should be. I think that is very important. I do agree that efficiency in some cases do go down. Anything in education, though, AI should be limited. It shouldn't be outright banned in education, but it should be limited in the ways like I said before. I want the AI to teach them to use the AI as the teacher to get the answer, not the answers, but to help come to their own conclusions rather than getting the answers from the chat. Right? Where am I? Logistics. I think the logistics it's thinking of is more in like factory work, but that's a totally different AI system. It's not giving you the answers. It might be the conclusionary, where it's doing a task repeatedly. I'm not sure if I understand what it's trying to include with logistics, but I do think that there are some logistical problems. Like let's actually, it might be talking about developing our computer systems because that would be like incredible for that because if it could improve how we design our computers, that's logistics would be amazing because if it's just trying to tell us like, hey, you gotta do this little task thing over here and maybe that'll do something instead of going like, hey, I have an idea and it's like just like, have we tried this that and this and that and whatever. I'm not a computer nerd, I don't know shit, but if it's like for developing higher end computing processings and other stuff like that, then yeah, I think efficiency and logistics, but like we can obviously change it for businesses and medicine and stuff. That's no problem. But I disagree with the education here. A quick answer can be more ethical than a long lesson. Ethical, hate that word. It's been overused in recent times. But yeah, no, like for medicine, definitely more ethical. I can't agree more ethical with the logistics and education. Not at all. Not everybody wants to learn, and that's the problem. That's the problem with the world. We need to develop a society where we want to learn. It needs to invoke a dopamine response when we do the hard lesson, and then we learn and we know now, and then we're just like, whoa, our whole world just expanded and shit, right? Like, it's more fulfilling when we actually like push ourselves and learn, like, and that's why I'm pushing myself on streams now because I do think that doing stuff like this and provoking our thoughts would make a better me, right? Because this is purely for me at this point. I'm not I'm not pushing this out to anybody. I'm just doing it to learn a new skill. Pushing teaching over hoping could. Oh, hold on. How do I pronounce this word? Word. Let me start over. Pushing teaching over hoping could alienate people who just need support right now. Learning is still support. Teaching is still supporting. Giving the answer is not always support. It's a shortcut. You won't teach them that the next time they fall into that same issue that they're gonna get out of that issue. I don't agree with that either. But at least with how they said it. But like, yeah, this is a problem. Not everybody wants to learn. That's the truth of this world. Not everybody wants to learn, and that's a big problem. That's a big social problem that we need to overcome. That's a big problem that needs a large solution, and we need to start at the top. We need the something I hear or heard a lot. I don't hear it much anymore, but I heard a lot that you need to lead by example, and our examples aren't leading by that example. They're not going like continuous learning is a priority type shit. Right? There is no that. continuous learning should be a priority. We never stop learning, so why do we deny learning? Right? It's just backwards. Like we should never stop desiring to learn more. It is useless to just stay stagnant. We should accept change wherever we can, right? And change is hard sometimes, right? And like there are people pushing changes that will inevitably make the world worse, and we need to push it back against those changes. But doing so still encourages change. So I think change and continuous learning is something we should endeavor to do. It should never be I made it through these 100 yards and I will stay at this 100-yard mark. No, we need to go to the 200-yard mark, to the 300-yard mark. We need to keep going forwards with our continuous learning, our education. You don't always have to like pay for education. Like you could actually like go out and go like, okay, well, I mean, we have libraries. There's several books there in nonfiction where you can go like, okay, what did these people think back then? Or go like, oh, hey, I coincidentally found this book over here. Let's give it a quick little read and stuff like that. And then like you also have tons of free online resources that you could also do for continuous learning. I don't. And ultimately, but not everybody wants to learn. It's a truth, and it's rooted in our society as a whole, as how we are raised and how we are educated in school. It's we need to start there with trying to encourage continuous learning. The benefits of continuous learning is long term. It never stops benefiting you. So that we need to encourage that for sure. Let's see what its conclusions are. Maybe it's not about stop giving the fish entirely. I didn't say entirely, but uh, well, I did say entirely. I said almost entirely. Stop giving the fish almost entirely. I don't think it should ever give the fish, but it should restrict it heavily. Only give the fish when it's necessary. That's exactly what I mean. And not always point to the fishing rod. I don't get what it means there. That's me being slightly dumb. I'm sure I'll be at work later and I'll be like, oh, Eureka! But yeah, a middle ground could be this. Let's see what it thinks. If someone asks for a fish, give it. No. Absolutely not. No. But make sure they always see the fishing lesson next to it. No. No, because they will ignore that. They will absolutely ignore the fishing lesson next to it. They're like, oh, here's my answer. What's this bullshit over here? Ah, fuck it. No. You never give the fish. Never. Not in that way. No. The fish should be like after you've given like 3 or 4 different lessons and the person's still not getting it. You know, that should be when you give the fish. No, you should never get the fish when somebody asks for it. No, absolutely not. Fuck that. Would you want me to change how I respond to your future questions? Less direct answers, more teaching-oriented guidance. I guess you were giving me the answers, and I was actually like expanding on it, telling you no, yes, no, I agree, I don't agree. That's how I wanted you to respond, but yeah, I think you should, because I guess you weren't really giving me answers, and I disagree with you a lot. I think like the AI is what most people think and believe, right? But like there are so many problems because the AI isn't, and most people aren't thinking about the human desire, right? Because there's a different desire in modern times than there are in previous. So it's not thinking about human desires and human flaws because like I said, it thinks that this is a great idea to give somebody the fish when they ask for it, but to also include the lesson next to it. No, it should first be the lesson, and it should always try and push that lesson first, like several times over, no matter how many times the person asks the question. Um, let me say this. Um, human flaws make some of your solutions human flaws make some of your solutions harder problems to solve. Let's put it that way. Harder problems to solve. Fuck. I definitely spelled that wrong. Now I figured it out. I typed the L. Solve. There we go. Human flaws make some of your solutions harder problems to solve. But I do agree mostly with... How did I type B twice? Let's fix that. I do agree mostly with what makes sense. I did not forget how to spell sense, did I? Oh my god, I did. Okay. With what makes sense. Yeah. I think the way I think... Hold on. That's a dumb way of saying it. The way I think and the beliefs I have conflict mostly with the wider American audience. I say audience, but with the American people a lot, because I don't have, and I've never really agreed with anything that's been pushed in media in recent times and stuff. Oh, man. It's sad what's happening in the world today. That's another video for another time. Yeah, let me double check this because I do want to try and challenge the AI. Human flaws make, but I do agree mostly with what makes sense. For example, giving the fish alongside the lesson will get... Oh, that's backwards. People to prioritize. That is absolutely wrong. How did I fuck like that? Privatize. But how did I spell that? Let me fix 2. I don't know how I got that backwards. Prioritize. How? The Y is there and R there. How? Priorities. Prioritize. I just want a plural. Priorities. Prioritize. How do you make that plural? I don't think I've ever spelled that word before. Now I look like a fool, but I don't give a shit. Whatever, I'll just stick with that. For example, giving the fish alongside the lesson will get people to prioritize. There we go. Fuck you! Oh, it's... Fuck! Prioritize.
Because of course it's a Z. Fucking English. Motherfucking stupid ass English. Fucking English. Fuck off. Nope. We'll get people to prioritize the fish over the lesson. And there was something else I wanted to push it on. What was it? I think it might have been up here. I forgot. I just forget. Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to push after this. But yeah, that's human flaw. Human flaw. Yeah. I'll just go with that for now. Oh boy. I do gotta get off soon, so this will be the last time I chat with it. Alright, you're absolutely right, and that tension is at the heart of how tools like AI should and shouldn't be used. When people are given both the fish and the lesson, they'll almost always reach for the fish first. Yeah, obviously. Because it's faster, easier, and requires less cognitive effort. That's not laziness, it's human nature. In survival terms, the immediate solution feels more urgent than long-term growth, especially in high stress. Yeah. This creates a paradox. If you only give the lesson... What? If you only give the lesson, you risk alienating or frustrating people who just need help now. If you always give the fish, you train people to accept convenience and they stop learning. I don't agree with it calling it a paradox. Like, yeah, people are gonna be frustrated because that's part of the learning process. You don't get it immediately because you haven't developed that thought. It's all, again, goes back down to schooling. We're not encouraging critical thinking enough. If we actually encourage critical thinking and give large examples and encourage continuous learning, then people are always going to be frustrated when learning something new because it's not something that is encouraged and glorified and stuff. It's not something that is considered valuable in a modern world. And that's why it thinks it's alienating and that, because we're not going to the source and encouraging it. Right? Well, yeah, I do agree with that. Train people to accept convenience. Yeah. That's the problem with AI. We're getting a convenience. It's not good. We need work for our conveniences. Like, you still have to get a job to get a phone, at least for most people. It mirrors deeper human patterns. Let's see what it thinks. People often choose comfort over growth. Yup. Systems. What? Over process. Reward over process is absolutely the thing. People want the reward rather than the which is actually why a lot of people recommend One Piece, because it's the journey, it's the process rather than the ending of it, right? I think One Piece is a good correlation to what it's trying to say here. Backwards correlation, but sure. So yeah, human flaws, or maybe more accurately, human tendencies, that's the same thing, makes the lesson a harder sell, even when it's more valuable long-term path. Yeah. A possible solution: don't pair the fish and the solution. Don't pair the fish and the lesson instead. Make the lesson the only way to get the fish. Yeah. But you contradicted yourself. Okay. It is an AI, and this is why you need to challenge the AI, because it doesn't have a moral base. It's not a person. It's not gonna have firm stances. It's gonna contradict itself, and this is why you need to push the AI. You need to get it to start saying shit, right? Because it's not gonna do all of the thinking for you, which is one of the problems with allowing the AI to think for you, because it's going to start contradicting yourself, and now you're going to be a person who doesn't have a strong backing. It's you lose the spine that is your values, right? Because the AI is never going to be consistent, and there's hardly a solution for that. Even if we get the people behind such AIs to prioritize the lesson, it's still gonna fuck up. It's still gonna
have these clear contradictions. So yeah, that might mean guiding somebody step by step. That's what you want, but withholding the final answer until they've gone through the reasoning and practice that builds the understanding. This is what I was talking about earlier in its previous statements. It's slower, yes, but if the goal is transformation instead of transaction, that might be the only way. It is. This is how. Why can't I highlight this? That was weird. But yeah, this is how we should do our solutions for AIs and stuff. And now it's trying to ask me again. Would you ever want AI like me to lock the fish behind the lesson for you, to force a bit of a struggle, or deeper thinking before the shortcut shows up, or would that feel too restrictive? It will always feel restrictive, but I don't want you to just do it for me. I want you to do it for everybody, though. Let's say that then. Locking the fish behind the lesson should be the defaults for every one. I didn't put space there. And how did I muck that up? Okay. I'll see. Should be the default for everybody. Quite frankly, that's what I believe. And honestly, I will probably just end it there. Let's get its conclusion. Like, this is just gonna be preamble. Feel free to pause the video because it will be a video format. Feel free to pause the video, read this. I'm just gonna see what it says down here. You're pointing at something deeper, not just how AI should behave, but what we believe people are capable of. That's the foundation of any real learning culture. Would you ever want to help share or design AI systems that follow this principle? Because honestly, that kind of thinking could reshape how technology educates, not just how it responds. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be too against that. I'm definitely lackluster when it comes to most coding types, but I'm not ignorant to it. I have taken Python lessons, and I became quite capable at that, but that's not gonna do anything with this, and it's definitely no complex AI structure, but yeah. And this does give out a good point. I could be somebody who pushes out that a learning based AI, not like a teacher pushing type AI. How would instead of a solutions AI, a lessons AI? That's a better way of putting it. Let's teach lessons. That's a good way of putting it. I want to be against what it suggests here, but again, this is it for me. So, now that I am done, oh, my mustache. Let me fix that. Alright, this is the conclusion to the video and the stream. I hope you enjoyed whatever shit I put out. Now that, not that many people will see this, but if somehow somebody somewhere finds this useful or helpful or gives them a different perspective on how our future tools should influence our environments, well, I hope you take that into your future because, quite frankly, our future is AI and not like the typical robot dystopia that you see in media mostly. It will be we as the conductors, and if we can't learn to conduct our AI, we will be forever beholden to them. And so I encourage to not allow our AI tools and systems now to give us our answers and solutions. I want to encourage everybody everywhere to use AI as the tool it was meant for. And so, now with our conclusionary thoughts out there, have wonderful days, everyone, and to happy days and happy weeks. Best for all. That is a terrible ending. Safe days, guys. Stay safe. Be happy. Be happy is a horrible way of saying that. I want a different ending. Give me a different ending. You know what? See you next time, guys. I'll be here probably next week. See y'all. Have fun. Live life to the fullest and to the fullest for our education. Please encourage education, continuous learning for yourself, for your loved ones, and for all around you, because that will determine your future. Bye bye all.